glitch. Glyph glitch.
What's up, Luke? What's up, Charlie? How have you two been?
Pretty good.
Man, just riding the wave. How about you, man?
Same, bro. Been having a tubular experience.
Yeah.
Radical, man.
Look at all these pillows between us. Isn't this nice?
I know, it builds up the tension. Will they, won't they? So you guys see all the No Kings protests this past weekend? Apparently it broke records or something.
They're still doing that?
Yeah, I hardly knew it happened.
Guys, that's funded by Walmart, you nerds.
Like I
Is
sent
it actually?
Yeah, the lady who owns Walmart is the main donator to the fund for No Kings. So go ahead and make sure those immigrants keep coming in so they get cheap labor and you don't have a job. What about No Kings? What are we talking about?
Well,
How'd those protests go? Record numbers say the bots.
Apparently, I think. I don't know. I mean,
Were you there? Was anybody? Comment below if you were there.
I'm sure plenty of people were there. No Kings is fine with me, but I didn't know that I was like I sent you ideas to talk about, and I had no idea when I sent you something about kings that it was No Kings Day or some bullshit. But that day I was reading like a Black Panther comic, and it got me thinking of like the way leadership ought to run, and maybe this coincides with No Kings and what they stand for. I don't really even know what they stand for personally. But in the Black Panther comic, T'Challa was all like questioning himself and his place in like this black sovereign society. And it got to a point where his largest opponent in that comic was the crown itself, like the symbol of the crown. And it started started interrogating the Black Panther as the king of Wakanda of like, shouldn't the only true goal of an actually noble king be to make yourself obsolete? Shouldn't like a great leader strive day and night to make that throne not matter anymore? Shouldn't the role of a great leader should be to make himself obsolete? And I was like, bro, Black Panther is dropping bars right now.
Yeah.
That was incredible.
I agree. I think you should be the glue or the energy mechanism that makes it all move, not necessarily like the box it sits in.
And I guess what would stand in the way is obviously like human arrogance or human egotism, which I think is what No Kings is against. I mean, I guess Donald Trump acting like a king.
I pulled it up. The movement asserts that America has no kings. Duh. Asserting power belongs to the people rather than all-powerful executive or wannabe kings. So they're, I guess, against the executive branch getting more and more power. Mm. Why don't you just fight the CIA, the actual power? I think that'd be more like, because, the president's only using his executive power to carry out the deep state's will. Right? Thoughts? I think you're spot on about the role of leaders.
Yeah.
Should be like, okay, so in soccer we say a good referee, you don't even know that he was refereeing the game, because even when he was blowing the whistle, it was the right time to do it. It wasn't stopping the flow or ruining the sport of it. So like in the same way, yeah, a king or a leader, or I mean, especially when they're elected officials for our will, like, should be...
Like, that should be the goal, even if you've created some sort of co-op or just some sort of music venue or something, or just some sort of commune or community. Like, I think you start with, like, maybe this is just communism 101, actually. Mm-hmm. Like, you start with the leader, but that leader's goal is supposed to be to make himself obsolete so that it becomes self-sustaining. And then when you basically remove yourself from there... isn't that the idea of the dictatorship phase of communism?
I don't know. I think, yeah, I'm not pro-communism, so...
I know, but I'm just, as I was saying it, I was like, oh, I think this is already, like, very famous political theory. I think this is
I mean, like, you want to have...
But that should be the goal, though. That like, regardless of whether or not it's failed before, if you're a truly noble leader, like, your goal should be to make sure that leadership is no longer necessary.
Yeah, I mean, leadership will be necessary, but I think
But it'd be
the
group
the less
leadership.
the less known you are, the better job you're doing.
Yeah.
Is kind of the idea.
That's why I love our CIA. You don't even know who any of them are.
Mm-hmm. CIA
They're
is
doing an
pretty
excellent
cool.
job.
Exactly. Fair enough.
Like in other news, the CIA put on a cool concert. It was called the No Kings Protest this past weekend.
Oh yeah.
Record numbers turned
Yeah.
out.
Wow, dude, they must be a really good band.
No, I mean, of course, I
They're like Kings of Leon
Well-
ripoffs or something.
I'm not
No.
like educated enough about the conspiratorial deep state stuff to know if Donald Trump is carrying out their orders or not. But like, would you say that Donald Trump is like far exceeded his role?
Oh yeah, I think every president in my lifetime has
Yeah.
not declared war, but declared war, which like is technically illegal and probably even treason. The way it's had repercussions on the country they're supposed to be in charge of.
The best we can muster is a No Kings protest. Like, we've been at war with Iran for a month. We've occupied Venezuela for I don't even know how many months now. Like,
Yeah,
the
about
best we can
2 or
do is
3.
like a weekend protest where none of us have to go to our jobs. Like, the best
Yeah.
we can do is, and like apparently it broke records, but I think it broke records in certain states. You know, like the bigger cities or something. Because I'm not being a jerk. I didn't hear anything about it.
I didn't, me either. I didn't see any posts on
Yeah.
Instagram. I didn't see anybody.
Anybody at one?
No, there wasn't one here, was there?
They must have had one
I
in
didn't hear
Orlando
about
at
it.
least.
Yeah.
No, there was one out here.
Oh,
There was?
Yeah. No, there was. I was driving to like the theater on Friday night, and there was like a bunch of people out there.
A decent amount?
With I'd say, I mean, it was like outside of the Cobb Theater. It was like
Shit.
maybe 50 people in that little circle.
mm-hmm.
So
Well, I mean,
Making noise, and that's about it.
yeah.
I guess I would agree with No Kings that we shouldn't have leaders who seem to consistently enjoy abusing their power and act like kings. If that's the fucking
Yeah, but I also don't think we should have an oligarchy of aristocrats either,
No.
which I think is what's going to replace the. That's what I think they're funding is they're opening a gap for them to replace, and they have the lords and ladies all over again.
Maybe No Kings is like we already have that, just without those titles. I don't know. Maybe there are some actually good thinkers in that group. I don't know.
No, yeah, I'm sure. Like
Because
within
we do
there,
have like
there's a
governesses.
cause.
We just don't call them that. We do have American royalty, I guess.
Yeah, but kind of fuck that.
I know. I think that's. I hope that's what the protest is about.
Well, yeah, but like holding a sign isn't how you get rid of them. Stop supporting the businesses that they walk all over you with. That's how we get rid of them. You know, like the amount of, I don't know. Nobody speaks sign language. Nobody cares. Like it's something for people to feel good about themselves, like they did something and then nothing ever happens. And it's a nice way to pacify the more angry of the folk. They're like, yeah, we did it. We went out there and told them. It's like, what'd you tell them? Were they there? Was a city representative or a state representative at any of these protests being like, okay, I hear you, I understand? Probably not.
Absolutely.
Or no, if they were already, a Democrat, somebody on that cause.
It's a way to further polarize because whenever
Right.
you're holding out signs by the side of the road, it's, I don't know. I mean, I could see it. I mean,
Like, are the
It's-
people driving by the ones they're trying to, like,
are you trying to
yell at? No, it's,
And there's an element of like solidarity, like, hey, like it's an encouragement to people who already feel the same way, hold the same views. We're holding out signs out front of the outside of the Cobb Theater, and it's like, oh, yeah, like those all right, it's gonna be okay. But once again, I still think that's a way to pacify.
Right, yeah,
So it's not.
it's
It's not
church.
like shit. It's like that's what gets you to do stuff is whenever you're like shit. Like I'm gonna lose electricity or I'm gonna lose my food. I'm not gonna be able to eat. You know, not like, you know, go. I mean, go team.
It's very like mission trip, like, okay, cool, you're gonna go take some pictures and be there for a week and like do your thing, but then like you're gonna leave and all the same actual problems are gonna come right back.
Yeah.
So I think, yeah, protests at one point probably did make a difference, but at this point I don't think they're listening.
I think protests are fine. I just don't get much passion from the current incarnations of the protests. Like
Agreed.
the Iraq War, I feel like, I mean, I was in middle school and high school then, but the left were super mobilized and really mad. like in Occupy, like they were out there. They were out there, and like people were paying attention then. I can't tell if it has become just another thing you post on social media or just another like weekend exercise.
Right, yeah, it's a badge. You know, you're collecting all your Girl Scout badges.
Yeah,
be
no,
like, yeah, I'm against the Ukraine war. Yeah, I'm against the Palestine.
Well, yeah.
I'm against the Epstein
I would
stuff.
never criticize a group of people for protesting anything. Go have fun, protest. It's cool when you disrupt things if you're being disruptive, but
disrupt the right people though.
But I think that what we're talking about is something feels disingenuous, or at the very least, wildly ineffective, but deliberately ineffective. Like the people out there know it's not going to make anyone feel better except for themselves.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. But money talks, guys. Talk with your money, I think.
And they say they want no kings, but we all have, like, if we want to get philosophical or psychological, like, we're all ruled by something that we have to, like, our own personal demons, so to speak.
Yeah.
We all have to, like, overcome those things as well. So, like, when you say no kings, we better mean it in every way, not to be controlled by any addiction, any fantasy, or any leader.
I'm cool with no idols. We should change the movement to no idols, because I think that's really the idea, is that like no individual is gonna save us. No, like, stop wearing things as badges and flags and all this. Like, be more bendy than that. And
maybe we can branch out here since we have a young boy.
Yeah, tell
here.
us more, Luke.
Like, I understand, like, I do like that Gen Z has normalized a lot of different things, like from previously stigmatized, like, mental conditions to body types and sexualities. I like that. I guess, I don't know, do I have a question for that?
Well, I would say I disagree.
Okay, thank you. Go for it.
I actually think that we've just re-stigmatized them in a different way. It's like, but instead of the stigma coming from the external, it's from the internal. Like, we internally are like, it's like a kind of, it's kind of like a learned helplessness, I think. Like, it can be, like, I think there are like genuine cases of people who have, like, schizophrenia and and real depression that needs, like, serious, medical attention. But then there are real people who have, like, Asperger's. I know plenty in my personal life. Plenty of my friends have, and it takes a lot for those kinds of people to really, like, click into that. But I think that overall it's come with its own slew of like disadvantages, and inhibitions on, like, just where it's like I'm like, oh, I can't do this because I have this mental condition. I can't do that thing. I just can't do it. When that's maybe that is the case for some people. For a lot of people, including myself, whenever I was like, oh, I can't do this, I have ADHD. I can't do this thing, I have ADHD. And like,
right.
But then it's like, no, I could do that thing. It's just I told myself I had something keeping me down from that, and that felt pacifying, and that felt like. So I'm really speaking from personal experience here. But also, like, from the internet and just seeing it online and seeing the same things I've had in my personal life, like, online, and, like, from people talking on Reddit threads or whatever. It's a very, like,
I mean, I don't necessarily like when someone leads with their disabilities. So like, hey, I have this, I have that, I have this. But like when you're working on some sort of group project or even in, I don't know, some sort of long social setting, like I think it might be important if someone brings up a limitation or some problem that they have so that, you understand them better and don't ask them to overextend themselves in a certain way. And I do think that like a lot of things have been normalized. Like I think before Gen Z came around, things like I don't know, bipolar disorder or even trans identities were seen as like super taboo or misunderstood. Trans identities are still super taboo, but not really misunderstood anymore.
It's the taboo that like is really like I'm glad that we're over that.
Yeah,
it's the whenever you can't talk about it,
But I see what you're saying as well. Like it's they tend to the helplessness thing. They'll. But I don't know. Okay, like getting rid of the taboo, I think is super important. Getting rid of the helplessness that comes from maturity and real world experience. I don't know. Maybe this is part and parcel of like normalizing taboo things. Like eventually they'll hopefully get over that. What do you think?
Sure.
Yeah, I think definitely there's the crutch being used of the identifiers being some sort of, something to hold you back for some reason. When I think if people challenge themselves a lot more, they'd find out that the world isn't as difficult as they're making it for themselves.
Exactly.
And I don't know. I think, people are a little looking for a group to belong to. And seeking identity when, that might not be what they actually are, but especially young people are always trying to belong. And when they see this movement happening, I think a lot of people got caught up.
I would call it an interesting phenomenon, but I never had an issue with it because I didn't see any harm being done. All I saw was people ridiculing people for experimenting with pronouns.
Right. Well, I think
really made the ridiculers seem like assholes.
I mean, my only thing is like I see what you're doing, but you're using language instead of spirituality.
No, I think you hit the nail on the head.
You're doing like a metaphysical thing on the outside for some reason. It's never going to work on the outside. It's an inside transmutation that has to happen where you're like, yes, blend the male and female and understand their dynamics a lot better.
I think that has to be fleshed out more within like the younger cultures is like me personally, like I have bipolar disorder. I have a bunch of autoimmune diseases, but that's not like me. Those are just like facets of like my behavior and things like that. That's not like who I am. And I think that's where it gets conflated. They'll put so much stock into their color, into their race, into their sexuality that it becomes their whole thing. Like you're not punk anymore, you're trans. Like you're not part. Like these identifiers have become subcultures.
Does this make sense? We've been concerned with like adjectives instead of adverbs, like how we do things, rather than like I don't know,
and like those things,
how we are.
Those things are important, but they aren't. I don't think that like. The three things I just told you guys, you have no idea who I am, though. Like you have no idea.
Well, those don't tell us who you are.
Exactly, but I think it's been conflated that those tell you everything you need to know.
Right.
And I wish I could I don't know.
And it's a very capitalist kind of thing.
Yes.
It's been capitalized on for sure.
That was like, I don't want to say that's the whole point of it, but that was, it was like kind of wrangled up.
That feeds into Charlie's point on like kids will always look for groups to belong to, especially like groups that seem kind of like super rebellious and like nonsensical. They'll latch onto that stuff, just like the corporations made punk rock, gutted punk rock, or gutted hip hop.
Looking back, like, do you think like the scene movement and Fall Out Boy wasn't like thrown at us?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, but like it's the same thing. It's like that was the alternative movement that they threw at us to cling on to. It wasn't organic, really.
Yeah. So I will never blame like a teenager right now for falling for the manipulation tactics that are hoisted by like the geniuses who come up with these things.
Of course, yeah.
But
it's not
there should be a sobering quality, but don't let it all go behind. Like I think it is good that certain things that were stigmatized are like passe now. Like,
Right.
oh, you're gay? Give
I
the
think
fuck.
the
Like,
taboo,
I like that a lot.
the taboo
Yeah.
thing is huge. Like, you should be able to talk about whatever, even if like we're still figuring it out, or it's good or it's bad or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Like, the taboo aspect has to go away for sure.
But it becomes like a opposite of taboo, in a negative, like whenever you were saying, like, you know, now it's as opposed, like, oh, you're gay, I seriously give a fuck, you know. But and now it's like, wait, you're gay? I give so much of a fuck. Oh my god, you
Okay,
know.
yeah,
It's
true.
like it's the same thing, really.
It's coming
Yeah.
from a
It's a
comfort
patronization.
place, though, of like, I see you, I understand what they're trying to do. Like, I see you, you must have had. But they think that one statement, like, means so many, I don't know, cinematic things, like made up fantasies of, like, if I say that I'm gay, it's like, oh, I see all of the hurt that you've been through in your life. But, like, you see nothing. You just see the fact that I like dick, right? Like, that's.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I get what you're saying, but I also kind of get where they're like, it's coming from a place of empathy. And I do like that Gen Z is like super empathetic. It's just, is it truthful? Is it artificial? And if it's empathy in the service of capitalist overlords, is it going to be for harm or for good ultimately? And that's really the question that Gen Z has to ask themselves.
It's
Millennials, fuck, we're just cynics and skeptics.
Well,
Like,
or we're gay
we're-
or lesbian.
And all that millennials are doing is fucking rebuying our recycled youth again. Like, you gotta go see Blink-182 and go see the new Jurassic Park.
However many people went to Warp Tour last summer that was over 35. Like, what the hell are y'all doing, guys?
So Gen Z's 10 times better
Arrested
than us.
Development.
Like, I don't think Gen Z's infantilized. We like to say that they are. Our generation does, but they're not compared to us. We're the Disney adults, man.
No,
Like,
yeah,
our
it's-
generation is so infantilized, and I think that Gen Z is doing a lot of the heavy lifting. We should have normalized fucking being gay. We should have normalized trans people. We should have done that. It should have been easy.
I feel like it's kind of weird because when I was a kid, yes, it was like something off the mark or whatever,
Yeah.
but like when I met a gay kid, okay, you're gay, and then like after probably a week or whatever, it's like that was not in my mind anymore. They were just a human, you know. Like if I went to school with it was a mostly white school, and then we'd have a black kid. It's like, okay, they're a black kid, and then after a week, you're like, okay, there's just another kid in the class. And I feel like that's how it was. Like, okay, it's new, and then you learn, and then it's fine, and then somewhere after I was graduating high school, it became a thing where you were pointing it out a lot more. Like I went back and I coached high school soccer, and like every day at practice somebody mentioned somebody's race for no reason. Doesn't matter, doesn't apply, like has nothing to do with nothing, and it always got brought up, and I was kind of baffled by it because I was like, okay, like
in what context?
Well, they would just, I don't know, like if a kid was Mexican, they would say something Mexican, or
like negative.
Yeah, negative stereotypes, but in a playful way. But like it always like got brought up for like it's just like.
Well, that's the zillennial for you.
It's very strange. That's what I mean. Like, why'd you even bring it back up? I thought we were over that, you know. And then it all came back to this. Like, it almost culminated into a race war. It seemed, and I was like, what? I thought in the '90s it was like, I don't know. We thought black people were cooler than us, so like, what was even the deal? Like, we thought gay people were cooler than us, so what was even the deal? Like,
it's easy to look back at the '90s like that, but I do remember vividly, talk shows covering like gay kids being tied up to poles. And
no, but I'm
beaten to
saying
death.
as a child growing up in it, that's not the consciousness of our generation when we were in it. Like it like got re-brought up again or something. You know what I mean?
Like the media at the time were like drowning out those voices because Rodney King brought in the '90s, and I don't remember anything about that really. Or O.J. Simpson and like a lot of race stuff. I wouldn't call O.J. Simpson like a negative race story, but it was important that a famous black footballer was the most famous person of the decade for murdering his blonde white wife. And
Alleged.
somehow it was-
Well, no, he didn't. But then he wrote a book about how he did.
and somehow
So
race didn't get brought up, and that entire thing is just. I think that 90s
that's what
were
I mean,
repressing,
though. Like,
but you had to be repressing that. Like the media had to be like, no, let's like never talk about it. I don't know.
I think that's maybe what it was. They weren't talking about it, and so we weren't thinking
Yeah,
about it.
But there were still.
But then
hate
they started
crimes.
talking about it
Like
again.
the gays.
They definitely were,
the
hate
gays and
crimes.
trans were
and-
like it was like
for
hunting
sure, because the older generation above us was still living in their
yeah.
zeitgeist of that's taboo or whatever.
Yeah. No, for sure. I mean, we came up in the age where in the 2000s, every teen show had that one coming out episode. Where,
Right,
like,
exactly.
it was the start of normalization, but it was just it was still barely there.
Yeah.
I mean, hell, legality wasn't even on their side yet until what, 2008 or
No, yeah.
wasn't even on their side until I don't remember when same sex.
Oh, yeah, I think 2012.
It was about 2012.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, authority. Who needs it?
But I actually like Gen Z more than millennials. I just have more faith in them because I'm seeing what we're doing right now, and it's like pretty pathetic.
Yeah.
Gen Z, we can find them annoying, but at least they're doing something that's like enough to aggravate somebody.
Yeah, and kids are always going to be annoying.
Right.
So
Right. I mean, Gen
It's
Alpha's
just-
gonna
I
be a
wouldn't
bunch
hold
of
it against
crazies
them.
and love it. It's gonna be wonderful.
they're going to be bananas. They're actually going to be insane, though. I don't know what they're going to be. You guys caught a glimpse of reality. They have lived in the matrix of a matrix their entire time, and none of their life hasn't been filmed and documented. So I don't know what the heck that's going to entail.
I look at the way millennials act, and I'm like, we're gonna make the boomers look like the hippies they once were.
We are. No, we are the slacker generation, dude. We did jack shit.
Oh, come on, Gen X, fucking help us out before we take control. Gen X, do something.
Yeah.
Good. Do something good, guys. Make Sonic Youth proud.
Bingo, dude. No, we screwed the pooch, honestly. But I feel like we were just feeling sorry for ourselves because we saw the writing on the wall that the world was falling apart
Yeah.
anyway, and we were like, whatever. Like, we're Daria generation, man.
Well, when we were 12, Al Gore decided to tell us all that we were murdering the planet.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's that Catholic guilt bullshit that they put on everybody. It's all like you're automatically born sinning by breathing carbon or whatever the fuck. It's like, I'm made of carbon. What are you talking about? Carbon is the factor that makes all life possible. So to have like a carbon problem seems very counterintuitive to me.
Fun fact about the way that the global warming, which I think we should treat the planet fine. I'm not saying anything about that, but about the movie
No, we
itself,
don't litter.
that Al Gore was the star of, was directed by a guy whose only other directing credit was in the year 2000, a movie called Gossip, with the tagline, like, you can invent the truth, something like that. And it's amazing. It's a perfect college movie where like these three fucking guys at college, they make up a lie about death and gets all out and becomes the truth over time. And literally the guy who made An Inconvenient Truth, his movie right before that was about how lies become the truth. And I'm like, you can't do that, dude. You can't be so transparent. Oh my fucking God. It literally be like, it's like if your first movie was called Don't Ever Listen to Me, I'm a Liar, and the second movie is you trust me, guys. Like, it doesn't make any sense. I love
Sounds like it was telling the truth both times.
Dude, Gossip is great. If you get the chance, watch Gossip. It's got like everybody in it too. It's brilliant.
Yeah.
Oh my God. It's like James Marsden and a very young Cersei from Game of Thrones and Norman Reedus. They're the three who are making up.
Does she
lies
have a
about
British
Kate
accent,
Hudson.
like, for real, though?
No, not in the movie.
Oh, man.
She's
she does
awesome.
in
You
real
would fall in
life.
love
Why
with her.
doesn't she?
Because it was like an American school.
Yeah, but
Her accent would be distracting. Like, wait, why?
I mean, her face is
Why
distracting.
did she come to America and decide to be literally the worst kind of human being? You don't need to think about that when you're watching Gossip. Just the idea that Joshua Jackson and Kate Hudson, they're the ones that are making lies about, is brilliant. So good. I felt like sharing that's always fucked with me, of like, how the fuck how do you get away with this? Al Gore, you couldn't find anybody else, or were you cast Al Gore? Did you audition to be the
Now we're starting to get it.
to be like the
Now
main
we're
guy of global
starting
warming?
to
Did you
get
audition?
Yep. He also invented the internet and stuff. Yeah. No. They're all chosen for their roles.
Now, like, I don't think the planet's going to like die anytime soon in that considerable way. But, you know, if you want to treat the planet nicer at the time,
maybe
go for it.
Maybe
Definitely
less
do that.
less fracking and oil
Yeah.
refining and all
So,
that
like,
kind of stuff.
It may be bullshit, but most of the stuff they're saying, like, you know what? Yeah, maybe every corporation on the planet shouldn't just get to pump a bunch of stuff
How
they don't
about
even know in the air.
Yeah, how about quit with the chemtrails? Who do I write to get these chemtrails from falling onto my yard and in my air that I breathe? I'm not paying for that. Could you not do that? Also, who are they paying to allow them to fly over the city? Why is the city allowing them to be flown over with these chemicals? Who's doing this to us, guys?
All right. Once again,
I am mad.
You need to take responsibility for this personally, and get your own airplane and fly over the planes that are flying the chemtrails and drop chemtrails onto the planes that are flying over.
Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get a bazooka.
Oh.
And hopefully,
Welcome to the comedy podcast.
Hopefully it can get up that high. I'm going to get it from Acme.
From the
Yeah,
Looney
Acme
Tunes
bazooka.
people?
Yeah.
Dude, I've heard some good things about that.
Yeah. I'm about to Wile E. Coyote these motherfuckers.
Who's your favorite Looney Tunes character?
Ooh. It might be the Wile E. Coyote. I appreciate his tenacity, you know, and his resilience.
Yeah. What about you, Zach?
I like Daffy Duck. Modeled my entire personality.
That makes a lot more, man. Yeah, that's why I don't. Yeah, okay.
Definitely Don Juan. Who is that?
You can't make somebody up, dude. The Looney Tunes are an American institution, dude.
Make up a Looney Tune.
It's
Don Juan.
The skunk?
Yeah, little skunk guy.
Pepe Le Pew?
Yeah.
You thought his name was Don Juan?
I thought, his name's Don Juan. No, you guys are watching the new Looney Tunes, the Spunk edition, the new one, man.
I'm telling
Original
you, he probably
was
said,
Juan
I am
Juan.
Don Juan once in an episode, and he remembered his name as being that instead of a joke. It has to be.
Oh
His name's
my God.
Pepe Le Pew. I think it's always been.
Pepe Le Pew?
Yeah,
He's a
very
skunk.
famously, Pepe Le Pew.
What the fuck are you guys talking
He's
about?
a skunk.
He's attracted to a cat.
Whatever.
Well, that's a good pick.
Okay, well, fair enough. That's, yeah. Why do you feel unrequited love?
What? No. It wasn't. It was the other way around, right? Like
You were the
he
cat?
he was always running around and shit. And
No, he was
flying
trying to a cat.
Oh, is that right?
That was pretty much the plot of that.
I thought it was the other
It was like Tom and Jerry with sex.
Yeah. See, no, that's cool.
All right, moving on. Foghorn Leghorn, he's classic too.
Basically, the ducks are the
Man, I
best.
say,
Like,
I say.
Donald Duck also fucking brought it.
No, really, I think Bugs is.
I think the animated
you can't
ducks
beat
is where I
Bugs.
got my entire...
Yeah, Darkwing,
He's awesome.
the best of them.
Well,
Who's better of the
who's
ducks?
a better duck? Obviously...
Affleck.
That fat kid in the Mighty Ducks. The one who should... The goalie.
Goldberg.
Goldberg.
Goldberg, dude. Yeah.
What's the other kid's name? Don Juan?
Yeah.
Well, Joshua Jackson.
Yeah,
was the
Charlie.
one. Charlie, yeah.
Joshua Jackson, yeah.
Once again, it goes
He
back
made
to
a whole
the-
career out of his life somehow.
He's awesome.
Yeah.
He's awesome, and he's
What-
attractive. That's a big part when he gets older, not when he
Yeah,
was a
yeah, when he
child.
was, yeah, I guess.
Do you remember Cruel Intentions at all? When he had the blonde hair and he was playing a gay
Yeah,
guy?
no, I didn't like it.
that was hot. Oh, also
the
Ryan
bleached,
Phillippe was hot.
the bleached blonde hair.
Oh, dude, I love it. I love his little bleach blonde era.
Justin Timberlake, baby.
He's not hot.
Yeah,
Did
but
you guys see
remember
his
when he had the
DUI
bleached
video,
blonde
though?
tips, dude? Is what I was saying.
Did you guys see his DUI video?
Yeah.
Where, like, the cop had no idea.
I
that he was
appreciate
Justin
you.
Timberlake?
I appreciate you guys doing your job. I appreciate you guys.
So what are you doing out here?
your
What were you
job.
here for? I'm on a world tour.
It's
Well,
hard
what?
to. He's
What?
like, it's hard to explain. I'm like, how is it hard to explain that you're a musician doing a tour? How is that hard to be like?
He's never been faced with the circumstance. I mean, at least not in like 20, 30 years. where
I'm
someone
on a
doesn't
world
see
tour.
Jessica Biel has to be the most embarrassed woman.
We'll cut that. That was stupid. What other animated hotties are there? Is that what you just
I
asked?
said ducks.
Ducks.
it.
Okay.
That's- oh,
animated ducks.
bonus points if you
What
get
was
those.
his-
I mean, I think that
Huey,
like,
Dewey, and Louie, of course. And
oh,
then
they're
Scrooge.
awesome. They're Scrooge McDuck.
Yeah. Other animated ducks.
We don't have to talk about this.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna keep. You guys can keep talking. I'm gonna keep thinking
About
Okay.
ducks.
about ducks because
There's
feel like
this,
there's one
there's
big
this
one I'm missing.
comedian that has a good duck bit and is talking about just how ducks have sex. That's the only way they have sex is.
See,
they
I
have a-
modeled my whole personality.
They have a corkscrew dick, and then the females have like a sneaky extra hole so that they're like, whoop, that doesn't work, so that they don't even. I mean, they still get fucked, but
Oh wow.
it doesn't get them impregnated with eggs, I guess. I don't know. But anyway, he makes it funny.
Well, that's
Yeah.
nature is inherently predatory, and we have to come to terms with that. I think, as people.
Yeah, so Pepe Le Pew's not that weird.
I mean, that was an A for interacting with that. I wasn't going to interact with whatever you just said. But that was great. If you're going to interact with it, that's the only way you can respond to. Did you hear the one about...
You just see Huey and Dewey and Louie on.
I
TV,
mean-
and you think nature is beautiful, and then they have spiral dicks.
You never heard Morgan Freeman talking about duck rape?
No. Can you do an...
No, but it's going to sound a lot like Obama. The animals in the savannah. It sounds a lot like Obama, never mind.
It somehow sounds racist. I don't
Well,
know.
I'm trying to do
Because
Obama
it's
with a
just-
southern accent.
It's like the wise black son or something.
And,
it's like an esoteric black son.
Morgan Freeman's tough because if you mess up, it's
I'm
just
God.
somehow racist.
What's a famous Morgan Freeman line? I can't even remember.
Well, you can't go like first off. You can't go like because he knows what he's like. Obama's always having to fill it in. But I feel like-
Yeah, man. Let me be clear.
Remember, he said King Kong ain't got nothing on me.
Did he say that in what movie?
I was gonna give you Denzel Washington.
I was like,
This
no. I might be able to do Denzel. Nope, not even. Not even
Go
close.
for it, dude. We can cut it out later. If you want it.
King Kong ain't got nothing on me.
There you go.
I was getting closer. Impressions are hard when you have no starting point.
Yeah, you don't get to practice in the mirror or nothing.
Yeah, give me a week and I might get you a
good
good
Denzel.
Morgan Freeman and a good Denzel. I'll try.
Topanga or Winnie? Is that her name from Wonder Years?
Oh, Topanga. Topanga. Underpants.
I'm all about Angela, right? She's the
Angela's hot too.
yeah.
Not gonna lie, but I always had a crush on the redhead. Although I thought
giantess?
she was too tall, but she was.
You know she does porn now, right?
Get the fuck out of here.
Okay, yeah, you don't.
Now
watch
I
it.
have to
So you've
start.
Never seen, yeah, she's a porn star now.
Well, the
Has
mighty,
been for
the
a
mighty
while.
have fallen, but also okay.
That's why. Yeah, I didn't know until she had beef
When
with
this
Danielle
boy meets
Fisher.
world.
Yeah, she had beef with Danielle Fisher, and it's like, if she just doesn't like what I do, that's fine. I'm like, what does she do? And then,
Why doesn't Danielle
and then
Fisher
my
do
childhood was changed forever.
it? See them titties bouncing.
I like Winnie from Wonder Years more. She was fun. I grew up on both those shows, but
What was the friend from Full House? You know, Bob Saget got head injured.
oh,
That's my Bob Saget joke. He's a dark guy. He'd appreciate it. He fell on the tile, apparently.
too bad someone didn't film it. Could have won
America's Funniest
Home Video.
Ah, too bad. Yeah. Oh, Dad. So silly.
God.
That was a
I was thinking
weird
about-
show.
I was
Talking
thinking-
about psyops, bro. There used to be this show called America's Funniest Home Videos where they just send in videos of people having disasters, like getting slapped in the balls or their dog running away and making them fall and all that stupid shit. Asking for candid camera videos. We were talking about that earlier. Sorry.
They were. I'm sure that they were hiding the funnier videos, and that they in fact were
Now, the funniest videos, those are on
funniest
Patreon.
videos.
These are America's funniest.
That's not for
video.
yours and mine eyes, you know.
Yeah.
That's for
The funniest videos just got released on the Epstein files. This podcast is falling off. We're not talking about a topic anymore.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe
What was your topic about? We started with rulers.
It was a very strong start, and then it was,
I had the no kings rulers thing, which led us here.
Oh, okay.
And in the words of Anton Chigurh, this is the rule you followed. Of what use was the rule? So maybe the segment was shit.